Philharmonic Violins. It is Monday after spring break, and I hope everyone had an absolutely wonderful time of rest and fun. It's been very beautiful, so hopefully you spent a lot of time outside. I know I did. I was in the garden. But I hope we're all also very excited to return to violin, and I hope you had some time to play over spring break. So let's start by everyone checking your tuning. So I'm going to play each of my strings, and you can check your strings against mine to make sure that they match. So I'll start with my A. And now D. G string. And finally, we play our E string. If your strings match, awesome. If they don't, you can refer to the tuning video that is from our first set of videos that were posted. Okay, so now that you're all tuned up, let's shake everything out. Let's put our feet together, make a V, take a step, ground ourselves really well, and go into a beautiful playing position. Once you're there, I want you to check and make sure that this wrist is nice and loose and flexible and there's no pancake hands. You can wiggle your fingers. And check your bow grip as always, making sure your pinky is nice and curved on the stick, that your thumb is curved, and that nothing is tense, okay? And then let's warm up with our scale. Let's start by playing 2 stops for our G major scale. You can play with me. 1, 2, ready, play. Get back to the frog. And the whole bow. And then repeating. And 4th fingers on the way down. I hit my light on the ceiling with my bow. Okay, great. We can do that a couple of times if you'd like to get really warmed up, and then we'll move on to 4 stops. So play with me. Make sure you're using your 4th finger on the way down, and remember that our 2nd finger is high on the 2 lower strings and low on the 2 higher strings. So it kind of flip-flops, right? So just take a second to remind yourself of that. High 2nd finger on the low strings, low 2nd finger on the high strings. Let's now play separate bows, starting right in the middle. We're going to use our upper half, and we're going to use the entire bow from the middle to the tip. Now let's go to the frog and do the same thing. Ready, play. Now let's play a slower scale using our whole bow, frog to tip and back again, trying to make the most beautiful sound we can and making our bows as connected as they can be. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back down. Check your hand, no pancake hands. I hit the ceiling again. So now, let's work on our arpeggio. Take a minute to think about which scale degrees we include in our G major arpeggio. Scale degrees. So we're talking about numbers, remember? So in G major, G would be scale degree 1. So we use G, and then we go to scale degree, you can fill in here, 3, which is B, and then finally scale degree 5, which is D. All right? So let's play together slowly, just in the middle of our bow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now let's try it just a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now let's try it with 3 stops per bow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now let's try combining our scale with our arpeggio. So listen once, we'll play. So now play with me. Ready? 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, now that we're warmed up, we can move on to some pieces.